Alright, so look. Valentine's Day is a bullshit corporate holiday that doesn't really matter much unless you feel like picking out a day to do something special with your significant other. I acknowledge this, however, I just so happen to be someone who really likes romance stories. So why not take advantage of the occasion for a fun little themed month? That's right. I'm hereby christening the month of February as Romance Roulette. For the next 28 days, I'm going to be making videos exclusively about romance stories. Or just anything related to romance, really. Also, I recognize I'm below zealous when it comes to YouTube credibility, but if any of you lovely viewers feel inspired to create a similar video, just email it to me at mediocre1productions@gmail.com, and I'll add it to the playlist. Anyway, now that I'm done with the self-promotion, let's get this started. I recognize it's just a product of the manga story starting in the winter, but it'll always be funny to me that Komi's Christmas episode aired in fucking April. So Komi Can't Communicate is a pretty good show, yeah? It's funny, features a cast of fun and interesting characters, and tells a rather breezy but still heartfelt story about growing up and falling in love. And it's in that last aspect that I feel its first episode particularly excels. Komi Can't Communicate's first episode is a fantastic introduction to the show, and today I'd like to put it under a microscope to help understand why. Here's a question for all you lovely viewers at home. Have y'all ever heard of the 7 beats of romance? It's okay if you haven't, but in essence it's a series of 7 emotional beats that almost every romance story tends to follow. Similar to Joseph Campbell's hero's journey structure, it's really more of a series of guidelines, but a lot of romance fiction tends to fall into these 7 beats, and Komi Can't Communicate is no different. In particular, the first episode has to deal with beats 1 and 2 of this structure, those being the setup and the inciting incident. The setup is a pretty simple one. Komi and Tadano both start their first year of high school together, hoping to make the most of their time as students. After a disastrous first meeting, plus a shit ton of unwarranted hostility from his classmates, Tadano figures the chance of having any kind of relationship with Komi is dead in the water. That is until, the inciting incident. Having finally gotten an opportunity to have a proper conversation, Tadano comes to understand that Komi is an incredibly kind and friendly person who wants to make a lot of friends, but struggles with doing so because of her social anxiety. After learning this, Tadano vows to help Komi in her dream of making 100 friends. Cue opening. But Komi Can't Communicate's first episode doesn't just excel in succinctly knocking out 2 of the 7 story beats of romance. No, it truly goes above and beyond to grab the audience and make them want to keep watching the show by solving what I like to call the "why don't you just fuck already" paradox. This is a hurdle basically any good long-running romance story has to complete at some point. I mean, when you present us with a pair of protagonists who clearly have the hots for each other, you're gonna need to provide the audience with a satisfactory answer as to why they don't just get together. More often than not, the answer has to do with something relating to comical misunderstandings or something like that. But the answer Komi Can't Communicate provides is actually pretty clever, and it all boils down to that incredible scene with Komi, Tadano, and the chalkboard. When asked what her dream is, Komi answers, "I want to make 100 friends." And really, that's the secret sauce right there. It's a simple thing, sure, but by having Komi's emotional growth and desire for friendship presented on the outset, the audience never feels like our time is wasted when we're watching Komi and the other characters hang out. Every interaction builds on top of itself in a sense, because it all serves the purpose of fulfilling Komi's dream. It's very clever and effective narrative framing that allows Komi and Tadano's relationship develop in a very natural way, while also servicing the themes of the story. Frankly speaking, I think every romance story should be taking clues from Komi Can't Communicate when it comes to their introduction, because just like the title of this video claims, it's simply perfect.